Okay, so we're going to do a meditation, but I want to give us some perspective. So this is us, and that's our sun, and some of the planets. And this is the Pleiades here. This is Alcyon, this larger star. And so this, our solar system, travels around Alcyon. And that's the 26,000 year great solar year, right? So,
Where's sun again?
say what?
Which one is sun?
Oh, this is like our sun.
Oh.
And this isn't in perspective because, you know, we're really tiny. We're very,
Sure.
very tiny. And this is the Pleiades.
Okay.
And then Alcyon is right here. And what's interesting about the Pleiades here is that our sun is one of the 7 suns that travels around Alcyon.
Yeah,
So
one
we're
of the
actually-
7 sisters,
Yeah,
they call
so
it.
one of the 7
Seven
sisters.
sisters,
So we're
yeah.
really
I
part
thought
of
it
the
was the
Pleiades. Well, if you count Alcyon, there are 8.
Yes,
But our sun is one of the 7 that
one of the 7 circulates.
rotates around
Yeah.
Alcyon. And so this is where the 26,000 year
Yes.
cycle comes.
Yes.
Now some people say, you know, that, and the same effect happens, you know, that the wobble of our axis as it goes around, you know, takes 26,000 years to rotate,
Yeah.
and that gives us, you know, the 26,000 year
Yes,
cycle.
yes.
But this also happens, and this is, you know, what's important for us. But, I mean, to give perspective, in 26,000 years around here. So then here's our Milky Way, and none of this is to scale, because if this were scale on our Milky Way, we would be so tiny you couldn't even see the Pleiades or any of this. It'd be so tiny, that's how big we are. And to get some more perspective,
Since
It's
1991.
100,000 light years from one side to the other. So that's like how big we are. But in fact, you know what's really interesting is that the Milky Way galaxy is tiny compared to other galaxies.
Yeah.
So ours is about 100,000 light years across diameter, and one of the closest galaxies is like over 1 million light years across.
Yeah.
So we're pretty tiny. So that gives you perspective. All right?
Yes, of course.
So, all right. So let's do a meditation then. Any questions about this?
No, I was just trying to speed it.
Oh, this is
How many
Alcyon.
years is that? Is that 100,000 they wrote?
100,000 light years.
Oh, okay.
Light, yeah.
So the diameter of our Milky Way galaxy is about 100,000 light years. And so that means it would take 100,000 years for light to travel from one side to the other
Where's Earth?
at 186,000 miles per
It's
second.
up there in the solar system. It's in the
Yeah, so Earth, so again, this is, you have to kind of use your mind. So here's our solar system,
Right.
Solar system or sun?
our solar system.
The
Oh,
sun
I'm
and
sorry.
So our, you know, and our 9 planets, whether or not you
Give or
count
take.
Pluto, give or take, 10, 11, 12, 13.
gotcha.
It just is, this is kind of, do you know about Alpha Centauri?
That'd be another lecture.
Okay. But isn't it
Very good, that was perfect.
So
I have to be, Jackie keeps me on my toes. And so, you know, it's only 93 million miles from Earth to Sun, our sun.
Right.
But so you have to kind of shrink this down in reality. This is really tiny. It's 7 light years across the Pleiades.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yes.
Okay, so
And then it's
what,
100,000 light years.
what's the
across.
definition of a light year?
Oh, it's the distance that light would travel in
In
a
a-
year's time. At
Oh.
186,000 miles
Per minute,
per second.
per second.
Yeah.
That's what, yeah, per second.
All right, so we're talking big. So I just really, the reason I drew this is so you get a flavor of how big and how tiny we are. So now let's do our meditation.
But we're good with that. But we're
Did you have one more question about this topic?
Okay, this is in there because it's our solar system.
That's what, this says us.
I didn't see, I didn't even know you wrote that.
Yeah.
So we can't
Us.
see that.
And then, the Pleiades is referred to as 8 stars, we're one of the 8. But we're one of the 7 that
Seven
travels.
circulating. That's what in
around
old
us.
cultures they used to say 7 sisters.
Yes. And so we're traveling around this. And that's where we get the 26,000 year cycle.
Thank you.
And it travels, so it's 26,000 years. So that's the one sidereal year that Willaru was talking about.
Right. Thank you.
26,000.
Yeah.
The Maya call it the great
Cycle.
solar year.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All
But
right.
Hindus say 108,000 years. We are now the change of cycle, the new
Yeah.
cycle we are in.
Right.
It's really 4 times 26 because that's what happened now. So
yeah.
that was the last of, the previous was the last of 26,000.
Yeah.
So it is the beginning now of 26,000
Another
of 108.
Yes.
And that's why so many cultures have 108.
Yeah, it's really
It's very amazing. Throughout the world, it's 108.
Meditation beads.
Yeah.
Quiet, get them. Well, when we're
108,
talking,
yeah.
Yeah.
So you gotta count off your
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah.
But we can have more than 108 lives, right?
109.
Well, yeah.
Buddha was aware of his 500 lives. Buddha
Okay.
was saying about
So
he
we're gonna do a
knew his
meditation.
500 lives.
So it's easiest if you sit on the end of your chair, just so that it allows your back to be straighter.
I mean the end of the chair.
End of the chair, yeah, end of the chair, yeah.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put our feet on the floor. And although last time we were doing it for standing, because that kind of builds internal power and so forth, this one we're gonna do seated for a different reason. And if you bring your feet back just a little bit, then what'll happen is that you'll naturally connect the balls of your feet to the floor, because your heels will come up a little bit. All right? So you can
Excuse me,
relax.
what do you mean by the end of the chair?
Oh,
At the
that's-
edge or deep inside?
I think I misspoke. And kind of like this.
Okay, so on the edge of the
Yeah,
chair.
because if you sit back, then you kind of.
Then it's okay, good. Because I
You
see
sit
the
at the
other
end.
people sitting deep,
Yeah.
so I'm not criticizing.
And we have a couple of really important meridians around the balls of our feet in the center that connect us to the Earth's energy. So if you bring your feet back just a little bit, your heels come up and you have a better connection to that.
Like this?
Yes, and
Okay.
everything's comfortable.
Yes.
You sit up straight, everything's comfortable. You drop your chin a little bit, so then you kind of elongate things.
Thank you.
Won't spend too much time on that part. Okay. So now you can close your eyes. And then we're just going to start to breathe naturally. So we're not going to control our breath. We're just going to breathe. Its own rhythm. Some breaths are longer, some breaths are shorter. And now put your attention down in your, we'll call it the Chinese word lower dandian, but it's just the center, energy center, a little bit below your belly button. We don't need to measure where it is and so forth because your mind will find it naturally. You'll start to feel that area, so you're just breathing. And so as your mind is there, now just naturally let everything relax. Let your shoulders relax. Your arms relax. Legs, everything. And as you start to relax, everything feels like it's melting. You'll notice you feel a little heavier in your chair. Just relax. It might feel a little strange because most of the time People are walking around holding themselves up. But really what you want to do is let everything sink. So you may notice a strange feeling if you're used to holding yourself up. You want to surrender to gravity. And the reason why we're relaxing is energy flows better. Relax your feet. You get that feeling of just melting, and it feels as if you're heavier. And as we relax, we're going to start noticing that energy is starting to come up from the ground, from the center of the earth. And it's going to come up that meridian in our feet. But we're allowing it. We're not sucking it up. We're not pushing it. We're just allowing it to rise. Sometimes it's easier mentally to let it rise with the inhale. We're not inhaling it in, it's coming up. We're just going to use the inhale for timing. And now you're noticing that you're starting to feel a little energy in the center of your abdomen, the lower center. And every time you inhale, it's getting a little brighter. A little bigger. And allow that brightness, like a sun, begin to fill your abdomen. Now allow that to expand a little beyond your body. Allow it to fill the room. More energy is coming up from the earth and it's expanding, filling the room. Allow it to expand even further. Allow it to expand further. It's outside the house, beginning to fill the city. The more you relax, the more it's going to want to expand. And fill the state. Some of you are already filling the country, it's expanding. It's filling the earth. It's bigger than the earth. Beginning to fill our solar system. It's getting brighter and bigger. Allow it to fill the Pleiades. In your mind's eye, you can fill the Pleiades with the light from your body. It's going to want to expand, fill the Milky Way. Feel your light presence fill the Milky Way. Just enjoy that feeling. expansion. This expansion is so big we've become the center of the universe. Feel that. We are one and the center of the universe. And now we're going to bring this light back. Carrying with it light from the universe, and allow it to slowly begin to concentrate. It's getting smaller, but it's becoming more concentrated. It's brighter, more concentrated as it goes back to the size contained within our center. Smaller but brighter and more concentrated. It may become infinitely small, but infinitely bright. Enjoy that feeling, infinitely small and infinitely bright in our center. As we close this, from time to time, go back to that center feeling throughout the day.